Hello everybody and welcome back to yet another video. Today we're going to be comparing Chivalry 1 versus Chivalry 2. Now before we do that, be sure that you are subscribed with those notifications turned on. Let's reach 2,000 subscribers. Let's do it. Also be sure to like the video if you like it, but do it later on to make sure that you are really sure that you like it. So let's dive right into the comparison between Chivalry 1 and Chivalry 2. Come on then. Come on! So if we look at the graphics immediately between Chivalry 1 and Chivalry 2, we can immediately see that Chivalry 2 looks much more detailed. There's a lot more detail on the characters you're fighting, there's a lot more detail on the ground, on the house behind you, on the walls, on the distant trees. There's a bit more depth to the entire experience, and the immersiveness of my eyes just get sucked into the medieval world. However, when looking back on Chivalry 1, the graphics in Chivalry 1 still doesn't look that bad. I mean, if you think about it this way, if Chivalry 1 was an early access game on Steam that came out, I'm pretty sure people would still play it. Maybe not if Mordhau is out. But imagine a world where Chivalry 1 came out alone in this year. On Steam early access, let's say. Or like an early access, a small development team kind of game. And I think the game would actually still hold up to these days' standards. I mean, being in early access and stuff, it looks very nice. However, there's a much bigger difference when we move over to the combat side of things. Now that's where a lot of things start to change. So on the combat side, let's start with Chivalry 1. In Chivalry 1, combat was, well, you couldn't hold your block. It was like you had to click it at the right time, which was kind of a skillful thing to learn eventually. However, as the game progressed, some people learned that attacks got full damage the second you clicked the button to attack. And this invented ballerinaing, a ballerina type of combat, which was horrible. I remember when this started happening, and I don't like feinters, but ballerinas, oh my goodness, that's a level above feinters of what I do not like with people fighting in a game. Spinning around and instantly hitting you before you even get a chance to read their attack, just immediate damage. Also, some of the time, even though you had a one-on-one with some people in Chivalry 1, it could feel a little bit stiff. You know, you got the block off, you got the attack coming in. If you got a combo going, it felt smooth. However, in Chivalry 2, I will say the blocking combat and the engaging combat feels a bit more like, after looking at both of them and playing both of them so similarly at the same time, Chivalry 1's combat is definitely stiffer than Chivalry 2, and many people have said, oh, Chivalry 2 looks like a very stiff combat. But if you've played Chivalry 1 in advance to this game, to Chivalry 2, you'll feel that Chivalry 2's combat isn't that stiff. Yes, it is much stiffer compared to Mordhau, however, Chivalry 2 holds up and it improves that combat from Chivalry 1 and makes it even depthier, because you have parries and you have counters. And I still don't know exactly how these work, but I will get to it at some point. When the game comes out, don't worry, I'll get all them tutorials out there for you. So when we look at it as an overall picture, Chivalry 1 versus Chivalry 2, I would say that Chivalry 2 definitely adds a lot of new features and it adds more depth to the game. The one thing I do not like about Chivalry 2 compared to Chivalry 1 is that something you probably noticed immediately as well. You were like, oh my god. This isn't in Chivalry 2. If you play the closed beta, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You pulled your bow back and you fired that arrow, and that arrow went flying. In Chivalry 1, you could join that arrow on the flight and be part of the greatness of hitting your target, or not. In Chivalry 2, however, when you do it, nothing happens. You can't follow the arrow, you can just hope that it hits something and you can watch it from a distance. Oh, you got that nice headshot. Oh, you can't get close. Don't worry about it. However, I did find a poem hidden on Chivalry 2 beta's map. One of them, I don't remember what it was called. And it read like this. Thy arrow, my bow, it flies fast unto thy foe. However, I must know if the arrow hit his eye or his toe. The camera is now on top of the bow, but not on the arrow, which I will later complete. Or something like that. Basically, this poem, it revealed that the cameras I'm gonna say it will, guaranteed, get to the arrows later on when the game goes live, in post-launch. So when we look at Chivalry 2 and Chivalry 1, legitimately comparing them to each other, Chivalry 2 is definitely a successor, a chivalry worth the two after Chivalry 1. Chivalry 1 was such a good game and I played it so damn much back in the day. And seeing Chivalry 2 and playing it and feeling how it feels, and then playing Chivalry 1 and then having played Chivalry 2, I do already miss Chivalry 2. Chivalry 1 is a good game still, it's really fun. But I still think that Chivalry 2 has done that up and above, and it's improved a lot. I mean, I really enjoyed it. Please tell me in the comments below what you think about Chivalry 1. If you played it, did you play Chivalry 2? What did you think about it? How did you have the feeling? Did you try to play Chivalry 1 and then Chivalry 2, or then Chivalry 2 and then go back to Chivalry 1 and see how they felt different? That was something that interested me immediately when I played Chivalry 2. I had to know, how does this feel compared to the Chivalry 1? And in the overall aspect and the conclusion to this is that Chivalry 2 feels like a big upgrade to Chivalry 1. A bit more Battlefield feeling instead of like a Call of Duty. I kind of like it. I kind of like the the Battlefield feel of Chivalry 2. Chivalry 1 was a bit more Call of Duty like, but now we have some options. Now we have more medieval games in the space, and I'm looking forward to seeing Chivalry 2 going live. Hopefully you enjoyed this video as well, and maybe at this point you have decided to give me that like. Thank you very much. So be sure to tell me your thoughts down in the comments down below, and let's have a discussion about which one was better. Was it Chivalry 1 or was it Chivalry 2? Or maybe you think Mordhau is better than both of them. Besides that, if you go to my community tab on my YouTube channel, there is a poll going on right now that is about which game do you think is better, Chivalry 1 or Chivalry 2. If you would go over to my YouTube channel and vote on that poll, we can get a conclusive answer to which one was the best one. Until next time everybody, have a good day.